and we'll continue to work collaboratively and in partnership with the county to address the needs of all Houstonians here. I've asked everyone to stay, to shelter in place in their home, even if water is coming into your home, unless you know where you're going and you can safely get there. The worst thing I think you can do is to leave your home because water is in your home and try to go someplace else and put yourself in a more dangerous situation. So we don't want you to do that. We don't want you to do that at all. So I think the best policy will probably be just to stay put. That's number one. And as I indicated, we're only expecting about another ½ inch of rain for the rest of the day. And for people, for example, along the Braves Bayou area, their situation, that bayou will probably crest later this afternoon, early evening.
Those people that they lose electricity, when will they expect you to have their power back?
On that one, I'm going to have to refer you to CenterPoint. I don't have the answer. I know everyone is working as quickly as we can to get, to address people's needs. For people, my primary concern right now, people that may find themselves with water coming into their home, and seniors, children, families, and find themselves in a great deal of distress and need to be put in a safe locale. People, for example, who have been displaced because of the flooding have no place to go, to make sure that we have a shelter for them to go to make sure that people not get on the road when they don't have to, just to stay put and to be safe. And then that helps all of these responders who are responding. And my responsibility is to make sure that the city of Houston is deploying all available resources, and we're doing everything we can do. What we cannot control is the weather, but we certainly can control the resources that are at our disposal. And I simply want to make sure that the city is totally very responsible. I'm sorry. How many underpass? Of the floodgates?
We continue to have more barricades in front of it.
Yeah, you want to.
Yes, we already had several barricades placed for pre-position. Of course, as you hear of the process, as it's a very dynamic and fluid process, we go out and we put more as we hear about them. So we continue to do that. So if you know that there is an underlying area or underpass that has not been sealed off, please report it to 311 and we'll get out there immediately. Thank you. Not right off the bat, sir.
Right now, I want them to be non-essential employees. I want them to stay home, and I'll make that decision as we get further along, in the day. And we'll have to watch the weather very closely, and again, overnight. It can be another situation just like last night. I don't think anyone expected the rainfall to come as soon as it did and to remain as constant as it did, and it got progressively worse. So this will be another situation that tonight we'll watch it very carefully. I will certainly encourage all Houstonians to pay attention to the news reports. We'll be making frequent reports throughout the day and into the evening. This is going to be home for a little bit. But we will do everything we can to provide people as much lead time, much information as soon as we're in the best position to make that decision. What I would say for right now, you plan to stay where you are. Okay? You just plan to stay where you are. What I would say to Houstonians, regardless of where you work, you plan to stay where you are. I will tell you, for example, the medical center is open, but it's very difficult to get to the medical center. Okay? So our hospitals are open. There are 3 that are on this, what's my terminology? What's Lord? On internal disaster, there are about 3, which means they're not taking any emergency patients, so to speak. And this is happening not just in our region, but throughout the state. This is just one of those things that no one can control. And so now, not only are we talking about areas, homes flooding along Braves Bayou, we're We're talking about homes flooding in the Greens Bayou area. Homes, White Oak hadn't flooded in many, many years. In this area in which I live, hadn't flooded for many years, but now it's flooding. So it's a very difficult situation. We will do everything we can to try to provide additional resources, to try to pull down additional resources, to try to make their recovery again as swift as it can be. We'll try to do everything we can to give them what they need to be supportive. And I think that's the role that the city of Houston can play. We can be supportive. And when it comes to permitting, we certainly will do everything we can to expedite it and do all of the legwork